Hello and welcome. This video is for the 2nd of November, Monday. You're watching this for World Literature in case you were not here at the beginning of our wonderful week. So we had a couple of things that we did today. We passed out grade sheets. So as always, you can get those signed for extra credit. I'll give one to you when you return to class. We also did an awesome assignment called The House on Mango Street, Your Culture and Quote Guide. On Friday, we finished The House on Mango Street, and I gave out little slips of paper that had quotes on them, and I was like, yo, get to know your quote. Excuse me. This is what we're going to be doing today. Let's talk about this sheet. It says Your Culture, Directions. Below, search for 3 websites that have to do with your culture or Esperanzo's Latino culture. Hispanic Latino, I'm not sure how to do that. Record the website address and write a short paragraph about each website. Your paragraph should not simply be a summary of the site, but should be your opinion on whether the site was helpful, what was interesting about the site, and whether you could relate to anything on the site. So you have 3 things that you need to do for each website. Talk about whether or not it was helpful, what you found interesting, and whether you could relate to anything on the site. Now, it says here you have 2 options of what to do. You can do your culture or Esperanzo's Hispanic culture. What I did was I googled where does the name McDonald come from, and it popped up the fact that it was Scottish. I kind of already knew it was Scottish, but I was like, what about my students want to look that up? So if you kind of know what your heritage background is, then you can look that stuff up. Like I look up Scottish, what are some cultural heritages of Scotland, and that's how I would complete this assignment. Or if you don't feel like doing that, that's super cool. You can do Hispanic culture as well. The second half, and really quick, don't copy and paste stuff from websites because that's stupid and you don't learn anything. Okay, quote guide, directions. You'll be assigned a quote from the list below. You need to write the following. Decide exactly what the quote means, how it relates to belonging, heritage, and or home. Draw connections between your quote and at least one other quote. So let's take a look at one of these quotes. If you're absent, you gotta do all 3. Don't forget that. And you can pick whatever 3 you want to do. So if you're watching this, you're probably absent. Let's take a look at number 1. I don't tell them that I am ashamed, all of us staring out the window like the hungry. So we have a little page number afterwards, page 86. Let's take a look at it. Decide exactly what the quote means. Okay, I don't tell them I'm ashamed, all of us staring out the window like the hungry. So this quote directly is talking about Esperanza not liking the fact that her family does not have money, so she has to, she's just kind of sick of kind of going window shopping with them because they're poor. How it relates to belonging, heritage, and or home. I think it relates to heritage a little bit and her home because it talks about how poor she is. She doesn't like being poor and she's sick and tired of having to do some of these different things like go window shopping. She's just like, I'm done with it. Draw connections between your quote and at least one over the quote. Okay, well, let's take a look at number 2. I am tired of looking at what we have. I think this is a good connection between these quotes because, again, it talks a little bit about her belonging this time. She feels like she doesn't belong into this group, into this society because she feels like she's an outsider because she doesn't have the type of money. If you have any questions about this, let me know. If you were absent, you need to do all 3 and just knock out those bullet points. Decide exactly what the quote means, how it relates to belonging, heritage, and our home, and draw a connection between your quote and at least one other quote. Besides that, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope that you watch this. I hope that you know what's going on. If you got any questions, let me know. Have a wonderful day. Love ya.